There will be changes in the relationship between De Beers and its sightholders. Al Cook, the CEO of De Beers, confirmed what was already an open secret. The company plans to reduce its number of sightholders in early 2026. We already discussed this in a video in October. Cook was speaking last week with diamond analyst Idan Golan at the Facets 2024 conference in Antwerp. For more on that event, you should go and see our latest video. Let's zoom in on his words. He said De Beers cannot have strategic relationships with 69 sightholders, and therefore it would like deeper relationships with fewer of them. But there's not yet a target for how many sightholders the company wants.
We don't have a target in terms of the number of sightholders. We see that as an output. We see quality of relationships as an input and number of partnerships as an output.
The current system works as follows. De Beers sells its rough to 69 contract customers who commit to buying a certain quantity of goods in return for guaranteed supply. This happens at 10 sales across the year called sites. While sightholders are at liberty to refuse, doing this can jeopardize their future access to supply depending on De Beers' flexibility rules at the time. These companies then manufacture the rough and sell the resultant polish to their customers. As well as reducing the number of sightholders, De Beers is changing its business model. It also plans to keep ownership of some of its rough, selling it to manufacturers on a contract basis and selling the polished. Cook said there will be some partnerships around the polished side, some around the rough, some around dealing, and some going all the way to retail. But he didn't give many more details on how each would work. He spoke about this also rather cagily in an interview at the JCK show in Las Vegas in June, which you can read here. The main purpose is to leverage the brand and traceability of Botswana diamonds, which Cook believes should command a premium because of all the work and, quote, goodness that has gone into extracting them. He was trying to sell this to the industry, but what it really means is that De Beers, and by extension its parent company Anglo American and its shareholders, have been investing millions of dollars into mining for decades, including side activities such as services for local communities and environmental regeneration. And now they want a return on that investment. This is especially important now that Anglo American is trying to sell De Beers. So going back to the sightholders, again, we don't know exactly how the new system will work from 2026. One possible scenario is that some sightholders will shift from being buyers of rough to being contracted manufacturers of De Beers owned rough. This could be an attractive option for both sides, as many sightholders struggle with the current system, which often involves their taking on inventory they don't want and incurring losses. A De Beers spokesperson also told me that you will not have to be a sightholder in order to work with a company on a contract manufacturing basis. Meanwhile, the final site of 2024 is taking place in Botswana this week. De Beers reduced prices by 10% to 15% for most categories of rough, trying to stimulate demand just as the global market picks up slightly, as we reported on Rapaport.com this week. For the past several months, sightholders have reduced their purchases from De Beers because of weak polished demand. Some sightholders expect they will remain on the De Beers books in 2025, but won't get any allocation because they didn't buy enough rough in 2024. They will find out their allocations for next year later this month. In summary, De Beers' long-standing system for supplying rough is under the spotlight. Clearly, something needs to change. How it changes could have a major impact on the future of the diamond industry. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the week.